It's time now for a look at local news. In the news, the Wayne County Commissioners have a call meeting set for this morning at 9 a.m. They're expected to announce who will be the next county administrator for Wayne County. They've conducted 2 rounds of interviews with 3 finalists. They are Paul Andrade of Wayne County, who currently works for the local district attorney's office, Joseph Kaysen from Brunswick, who runs his own business and served as Camden County's executive director and their public service authority from 2018 to 2022. And the third candidate is Freddie Howe of Midway, Georgia, who served as Director of Emergency Services for Bryan County since 2012. Those are 3 finalists. Again, an announcement is expected this morning. County Clerk Amanda Hanna has been filling in as County Administrator since the resignation of former Administrator A. Jeffords. He left the first meeting of the year in January. Once again, the new Administrator is expected to be announced this morning at the 9 a.m. called meeting. WIFO will be at the meeting, have the full report tomorrow here on the local news. Also have the announcement during the baseball playoff games today from Howard Bo Warren Field. Chamber of Commerce held its annual post-legislative luncheon this past Thursday. On Friday's newscast, we heard from State Representative Stephen Meeks and Buddy Deloach. Today, we conclude our interviews with our local delegation as we talked with State Senator Blake Tillery.
Senator Blake Tillery, post-legislative luncheon. I know you're glad the session's over. A lot was done. Just hit the highlights for us.
It's always good to be back in Jesup. I think the big things are we're able to preserve a budget that returns $3 billion to the folks who sent the money to us in the first place. I think that's a big key. I think the truck weights bill is going to be really big for our ag community, and it would not have been possible without Representative Stephen Meeks. Just really appreciate the folks in Wayne County, the thought they bring to issues, the ideas they bring to help us resolve statewide problems. Really just a great group of people. So glad to get to come down here and represent you.
Sometimes the big story is what didn't get passed. Anything that was left on the table that you're looking forward to getting back next year to try to get passed?
I don't know that I'm looking forward to seeing it pass, but the things that the people were getting riled up about early on, about sports betting, et cetera, gambling, none of those passed. We didn't think they would. They'll probably come back next year, but I don't think they'll even pass next year. They just did not have a strong reception at all.
One thing that got passed in education is these safety drills. It's better to be proactive than reactive, and unfortunately with the events taking place across the country, just don't ever know, but it's good to have these drills to have at least people be prepared what to do in case something like that does happen.
Unfortunately, you're right. Luckily, we're in a community that's already been forward thinking about that. The superintendent here, the school board members here have been proactive on those thoughts for a while. So not all of the communities are, and so you end up with state legislation, but Wayne County's blessed to have folks who are trying to think about this before it was an issue.
Always good to see you. What's your plans now? You're going to be trying, like you said, you had a huge district, 21 counties, is that correct?
No, not quite that big. It's 11. But
11, that's pretty big.
Sadly, it doesn't stop. The budget continues to be an issue every day. We had a bond sale meeting yesterday because there'll be a bond sale for state buildings. Legislation the governor has till about May 8th to decide if he's going to sign or veto any of it, so we'll keep our eyes and watch those things too. And then we're already planning next year from a state funding standpoint. We have needs. We think we're going to see a little bit of a recession. We know that Georgia families are going to be struggling if that were to hit. Hopefully the job market stays hot, but if it isn't, we've got to be prepared for what we can do to help Georgia businesses. The employment situation here is an absolute problem statewide, and we've got to make sure we're not handing out money for folks who aren't working.
Blake, always good to see you.
Thank you.
And once again, those comments, State Senator Blake Tillery again. He was at the post-legislative luncheon held this past Thursday at Coastal Pines Technical College, sponsored by the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, other commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, this is National Crime Victims Week, Monday, April 24th through Friday, April 28th, here at Wayne County. Local District Attorney Keith Higgins of the Brunswick Judicial Circuit has announced the Crime Victims Memorial Ceremony set for this Wednesday, April 26th at 5:30 p.m. at the Wayne County Courthouse. Once again, a memorial wall will be on display inside the courthouse all this week, so if you're not able to attend Wednesday's ceremony, you're invited to stop by and look at the memorial wall remembering Wayne County victims of violent crimes. Once again, the ceremony is set for this Wednesday, April 26th at 5:30 p.m. at the Wayne County Courthouse. Wayne County Board of Education has their monthly board meeting set for tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the Tech Center. On the agenda under resolutions and recognitions, Good as Gold program recognition. Dr. Burgess will recognize the Good as Gold recipients from maintenance and transportation departments. The Melba Murphy Community Service Award will be presented. Also, they recognize the Wayne County High School FBLA organization. Under discussions and information, update on the capital outlay projects, transportation information. Also on the agenda, once again, middle school athletics, field trips, Board of Education and Professional Development, Under executive session, Wayne County Board will enter executive session after the meeting for personnel. All that's set for tomorrow night at 6 p.m. City of Scriven Mayor Jason Weaver and the council have called a meeting for this Friday at 4 p.m. at their new community center for the purpose of discussing their city SPLOST needs and their 2024 budget. Once again, the countywide vote on the new SPLOST is set for either this November or next March, as the current SPLOST runs out in June of 2024. The county has yet to determine when the vote will take place. They have to first negotiate with the cities of Jesup, Odom, and Scriven to determine the breakdown of the funding and what projects the SPLOST money will be used for. So far, no negotiations have taken place between the county and the three cities. City of Jesup has SPLOST discussions at their retreat on Jekyll Island. County has selected Chairman Kevin McCurry and Mike Gordon as their two representatives to negotiate with the three city governments. Projects discussed and mentioned have been courthouse security and a community center. Once again, the county registered voters will decide the issue either this November or March of 2024. Again, the city of Scriven set to discuss the issue this Friday at 4 p.m. We'll be back with a final news note after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final note in the news, today marks a week since shots were fired at the Food Line parking lot, and Police Chief Perry Morgan says this shooting is still under investigation and has released no details. WIFO-FM continues to wait on the press release, and as soon as we receive that information, we'll pass that information along. Good news is no one was shot, but several vehicles received bullet holes in them during the shooting. Shooting occurred last Monday around 4:30 p.m. while people were shopping in the parking lot. It's been described as a gang-related shooting, but no details of how many people were shooting. Has anyone been arrested or charged? Once again, as soon as we receive any details from the Jesup PD, we'll pass that information along to our listening audience. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.